So you don't like conflict. You're not very confrontational. What if I told you it's not any of that? And what it really is you don't know how to be intentional while intention. And it really comes down more to not being able to articulate your words and convey your feelings and your emotions without that fear of the outcome. How's this other person going to react? And a lot of times, due to past pain, maybe dealing with abuse or dating a narcissist, a lot of times that stems from parent patterns. We just get familiar with that energy that when we express ourselves, it ends up being an attack when we show up vulnerably. And maybe that's where the loss of words comes from. Maybe that's where the loss of focus. So what if I told you by the end of this video, you'll be able to go into conflict and have fun with it? So join me, Ventzi. Let's get it. So yeah, make conflict fun. And we have to realize why it's not. Again, I mentioned this earlier. You're afraid of being in tension with someone because you don't have a set intention. You're not fully intentional with what you want to say. And sometimes we do get that pressure from the outcome of fear of how are they going to react to us. And we have to break this down into two things. And those two things is can we express ourselves and our needs? And the other one is what is the outcome of this other person? How do we deal with those things? Their reaction or their response. Well, number one is if you're afraid of conflict, what that's really saying is, yeah, you're not expressing your needs. You're afraid of showing up vulnerably. You're afraid of not being able to say the right things. Maybe you'll whimper and run away and hide during this confrontation. You won't be able to fully say what you want to say. So how do we deal with that? Well, guess what? Give yourself permission to even say, give me a moment. I need to think. I need to put my words together. Now, the outcome of that on the other person is how long are they willing to wait for you to think your thoughts? Are they going to get impatient? Are they going to want to get up and leave and walk away because it's been 5 minutes? And you're supposed to be in an emotional sanctuary with this person, vulnerably expressing each other's needs and feelings. So that way you can have a pleasant outcome. Because maybe their actions, you want them to cease their behavior that they're doing and it's not pleasant for you. Maybe you want to set a healthy boundary. So that way you can live in peace. So if they're not willing to sit there with you, it's showing their level of respect towards you and how much they really care about this friendship, romantic relationship, or family dynamic. And this is where you get to choose based off of that behavior. We can also express to them, hey, if you're not willing to wait for me, you're showing me that you don't actually care. That's how I feel. I feel that you're showing me that you don't care. Not that you don't put it on there. You're showing me. Don't ever say you. It's I feel this way when you do this. It's always I feel a certain way when you do this. And that's what makes it so much fun because you get to step into true vulnerability of honoring your voice. Because not being able to be in conflict is saying you're not honoring your voice. You're not honoring your needs. And again, that can come from people pleasing, or maybe if you just shut up and play small, you won't get hurt. Mom or dad won't hit you. Your abusive partner won't hit you. Something's gonna be okay if you mitigate the tension, which is not your job to do. It's not your responsibility. It's your responsibility to show up 100% as yourself and honor your voice. That's how you break free from this. And people who care about you are going to sit there with you no matter how long it takes. Maybe if it does take like 30 minutes, it's like, hey, then can we come back to this? Like, if you know it's going to take longer, can we come back to this? Let's take a break. We'll meet back up in like 10 minutes or something. Like, work together. That's the problem with even countries. People are just so honed in on what they want, and they don't even really care about the other person's needs as much. They only care about their own. So express your needs while being in a vulnerable sanctuary together so you can come to an agreement. That way you can love each other, not separate from each other. Find a way to make it work while honoring each other's needs. That's what all relationships are, is incremental adjustment to each other. Now, number 2 is fear of the outcome, right? Because of the parent pattern of the past, that we were abused, or we're afraid of they're going to yell at us, or something crazy is going to happen, right? Guess what? Whatever their response or their reaction is, that's their responsibility. It just shows you how much of an alignment they are to stay in your life. Again, it goes with number 1. This is where you get to make that decision. Is this relationship, romantic or non-romantic, still serving me? Is it time for me to leave? And you don't just leave, you give people the opportunity. But the only way you can give people the opportunity is by expressing and honoring your voice and your needs and your feelings, your desires, and what you want to happen. It's not just, hey, I feel this way when you do this. Now it's on them. You have to create the call to action. What would you like to be done? I want you to stop doing this. This is unpleasant for me. Can you do that? Can you do that for me? So, and this is how you set boundaries. Boundaries are such a sacred way to allow someone the space and opportunity to gift you peace, to gift you a healthy relationship. And you know why I say gift? Because people give gifts because it feels good to them. That's a real gift. People don't just go buy you a Lamborghini just because they know, like, you know, say it's a really financially abundant person and they're giving you this just because. It's like, no, they actually enjoy giving you it. Doesn't matter what kind of gift it is, how big or how small. It's because they feel good in doing it. And part of gift giving is, as you as the receiver have to receive that gift and honor it. Because if you don't, and there's an attachment behind it, it's not really a gift, right? Now that's manipulation. So if somebody's only doing this for a certain amount of time and then eventually they go back to being this horrible person again, well, guess what you do in that space? You say, hey, we've had this conversation. We've talked about this, and you're leaning towards this behavior again, right? You don't just run away, because if you do that, you're not allowing them the opportunity to continue to grow. You have to reinforce your boundaries sometimes because people are shifting their behavior. And you can do it once or twice, and then eventually you say, hey, we've done this, we've tried this, it doesn't seem like it's working. If you really wanted to change, you wouldn't be sorry. You wouldn't have done it in the first place. Because if you're actually sorry and you've added awareness to how this is affecting me, you wouldn't want to keep treating me this way. And it's okay. So the way we make this fun is realizing the outcome doesn't matter, whether if they stay in your life or not, whether if they change or not. Life will go on and you will figure it out. Everything is figure outable. You have a bad roommate situation, yeah, it's going to be figure outable. You're going to be able to leave. You'll be able to figure out a better living situation if you let go of the fear of being stuck. Maybe it is time for you to move. Maybe it's time for a new environment. Maybe you have to call mom and dad. You know, if you have a good mom and dad, and say, hey, I'm in a really tough situation in my life. And you have to get rid of that shame and guilt and be prepared for that outcome in that conflict, that tension to blow up. So what if it does? Great, you'll figure it out. Maybe you move back in with mom and dad for a little bit. Maybe it's meant to be. Maybe it's time for you to have a divine storm where everything falls apart, or it feels like it, really to fall back into place. Because whatever you're experiencing with this person that you're afraid to have intention, conflict, or confrontation, what that's really saying is you're walking around eggshells and you're in fear and you're not honoring yourself. So make it fun. It should be exciting to be excited for what's next. What's after this? What happens if I honor my needs? What happens if I express my boundary? What's on the other side of the unknown? From me staying in this comfortable, familiar energy of never expressing myself and playing small, what's on the other side of that? Maybe it's a relationship, a friendship, of someone actually honoring me. If I let go of this, that's no longer serving me. And why it's still serving is because you are too afraid to step into into confrontation. So if you allow yourself to step through that fear while feeling it and knowing everything's okay, Everything is going to be okay either way. You'll figure it out. This is an opportunity for you to grow and expand and honor your voice, or you're going to keep suppressing yourself and you're going to live the rest of your life like that until one day enough is enough. It's too much pain. And that's just like working out. You go to the gym and you work out and your muscle tears and it's going to grow. And you have to invite that tear into your life. And that's the only way you're going to grow. And that's why it's so important to invite people in a graceful way so you give them the opportunity to grow. That's why reinforcing your boundaries is so important, because you give them the opportunity to grow. And imagine not giving someone that gift of growth. And you just avoid things and you leave and you just keep playing this avoidant game with people. Imagine all the times you haven't given someone the opportunity to grow. Kind of selfish. It's really messed up. They didn't also get to see the opportunity to see the real you and the opportunity to love the real you. You didn't give them that. You didn't give them that option. And it's okay to start doing that. And I did that for a long time. Fearful avoidance, afraid of conflict. I would get into conversations, or I would start articulating and overthinking, and like I didn't know what to say, and I wanted to convey a message and something and express a boundary, and it's like, you know, I would spend hours thinking about it, and then finally when it happened, I would like have all these thoughts, right? And then like I would miss things, I wouldn't be able to articulate words correctly, and like I would be in fear. In fact, I didn't even be able to speak this clear on camera back then, right? And it came with practice, just like making videos. You can see any of my older videos, they're not like this. Because I learned how to own what I want, my needs, know what I want to express, and not be afraid of the outcome. Yeah, sometimes I repeat things a lot in my videos. It's just who I am. It's how I make content. My mom was watching one of my videos the other day. She's like, you repeat things a lot. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. I get in this flow energy and I love doing it. So this is the kind of content I make. Maybe I will work on that to be more intention. So it's why bulletin points are so important. Like write down what you're feeling, what you want to happen, and make it fun. And the way you make it fun is you come from a loving place of knowing you're giving yourself the opportunity and them the opportunity to make incremental adjustment together, to grow together. Let go or grow. Actually, this is more like let go. And this is more like grow. It's like planting a seed, and then now we're rooting up, and then a tree, you get it? Let this relationship flourish and blossom. Foster healthy relationships with people. And maybe sometimes you can't do that, and that's okay. Except don't deny yourself the opportunity, at least. And don't deny them the opportunity either. Oh yeah, and I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments below how I helped you and assisted you. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and then watch this video right here about setting healthy boundaries with the Boundary Bunny. You'll figure it out. So have an alchemizing day, beautiful soul. Namaste.